everybody? Let's hang my helmet up here like I always do so I don't have to have it down low. Don't like it where it was. Okay. Alright, so now we're all good to go. We are about to roll out. Alright. So what's up, everybody? Good morning. So what is going on? So today we're heading to Cape May, which is pretty exciting, right? Right now we're actually currently leaving my yard. But what we're doing is we're on our way to go to a job that we actually do for a customer. We've been in and out of this job. This is like one of those jobs where it's basically a friend of the family's, and they live like so in Cape May are like old historic homes, right? Which are really amazing. But for a carpenter, as myself, it's hard to actually work on these buildings. Not like the idea of physical work, but the hard part is like all the historical codes, you know, and permits you need to pull, which is really difficult because they don't want you like building these any different than what they already basically are right now. So like meaning like if they have cedar siding on it, which all those homes do, they don't want you putting vinyl siding all over it or exact. It's always all wood, right? Which is pretty difficult. But today what we're doing is we're working on a we have some siding pieces to replace. We have a door that's actually sagging because it's so old and historic that the customer really wants to save the door, so we're going to try everything we can to try to tweak it back and keep it that way. The problem is it's just an old sagging door. Hey, what's up, man? Good morning, dude. How are you today? Today we have my I Love My Cat cup for a coffee this morning. But you know, to be honest with you, a lot of times when I get up, I already drink so much coffee in the morning that really I don't need this one for the ride. But I think it's like such a natural thing to me to always have like one cup of coffee for the road. I don't know. I shouldn't really be bringing coffee with me in the morning like this because like sometimes my coffee cup will end up being in here for like 2 days because I always tend to forget about it because I put it on the floor here. I'm always doing so much stuff all the time, and I would like to say that I'm genuinely a pretty tedious guy when it comes to being clean and stuff like that, especially with my toys. And you know, with the house and the yard, you know, and all that kind of stuff, I love to try to be very clean. That's what everybody should be like, right? But the one thing I think that I'm a little lazy about is coffee cups in my van, right? That's my ultimate weakness. So I should stop actually drinking coffee on the ride, but I love doing it. It's like, I love the idea of knowing I'm going to work and having a cup of coffee, you know, even knowing that I've already had like 4 cups of coffee already this morning. But yeah, so dude, yesterday, man, I went out for another flight. And what was so cool about yesterday's flight was I went to work, I got done, I shot out to the beach. I hung out with my new buddy Al, right? And he has a beautiful setup. He's got the Parajet Maverick black frame, blue web around, so nice, with the Vitarazi Motion 185, and he's got the Spider 3 28 meter, right? So we did a lot of kite training yesterday, a lot of cool stuff, which was so much fun, and there's nothing like kiting on the beach. And the winds yesterday, you couldn't have asked for a better set of winds. And really too, like, it was just so perfect. Like, I got the chance to go up multiple times yesterday. Like, I have to look at my camera to actually see how many times I flew. 1, 2, 3. I think I flew 7 different flights yesterday, but I have to double check my camera with a bunch of taxis in the middle of them, you know, which I also count as another flight, you know, as long as, you know, it depends on how that landing is, but still, sorry, I'm about to be on the Garden State in 1 second, guys. But yeah, so when we went out flying yesterday, it was just such an incredible flight. Says no turn on red, so I'm not gonna turn on red. Even though that's Parkway entrance, it's like right here. I feel like I could easily slide it, but we're about to turn green here. All right, here we go. So yeah, so like I was saying, I got to go fly a bunch of times, and also what was really cool is that Al let me fly a Spider, and it was actually a ton of fun because it was my first time ever flying a Spider, and his glider being bigger than mine, we're both basically the same exact glider. Hold on a second, guys. Speed up. So, I'm sorry, it's just so much stuff going on at once. So, like I was saying, I got to fly the Spider, and the Spider was basically the same. Well, if I'm not mistaken, how they word it from Ozone is that the Roadster is the sister wing of the Spider 3, right? So, and the only difference, if I'm not mistaken, of the two is the fabric. So, the fabric on mine is thicker than the fabric on the Spider. The Spider, I think, is more designed for very easy takeoff launches. Just super lightweight, you know, it's way lighter than the Roadster is, and my Roadster even being the 22 meter compared to that 26 or a 28, his 28 meter was lighter than my 22 meter. Like, that's crazy to think about. And it was just a nice glider all around. I flew it all the way up to 1,200 feet yesterday, and I did a couple little mini wingovers on it. I did a couple spirals on it. I did 2 touch and goes with his glider, and then I came in for a very epic landing, and it was nice. And you know, it was so funny because I was flying his Spider, and it being a bigger glider, and his 2D steering's not tied in yet. I noticed that when I was flying it, it's amazing how Ozone does over tie their brakes. And now for me, flying so many times now and seeing that so clearly yesterday when I was flying his wing, I could pull my hand down so far on the Spider because he hasn't adjusted his brakes yet, which you don't ever have to do. All you could do is just wrap a brake up in your hand once or twice and never have to untie it and tie the knot, you know. But for me, I had to shorten my brakes. I was having difficulties landing. And I never really felt that comfortable up in the sky. So I just tied them in a few inches, and then I tied in my 2D steering. And I have to say now, my landings are so much nicer. And like when I came in to land the Spider yesterday, that's why I wanted to do a couple taxi hits just to see how the flare would be. And dude, I have to tell you, I did it the first time trying not to wrap at all. Just came in and did it. And when I did it, dude, I mean, like, my heads were so far down that, like, I couldn't believe the wing wasn't stalling. But that's how, you know, like, when you buy a brand new glider for, like, safety reasons, they'll do that. They'll, like, lengthen your brake line so you can stall your glider, basically. Or, like, it's going to be very hard for you to stall that glider in the air. And when you shorten your brakes, you basically just can't hang out on your brakes so much. Like, you just gotta watch what you're doing. And like for me, I wanted to shorten my brakes up for the idea of the landings for paramotoring. But yeah, it was super, super cool to get that experience on the Spider yesterday, even knowing that it was on the bigger side. But it's still fun to fly it, you know? It's like, and really, I wanted to fly it for a couple of reasons, because when we were kiting, it seemed like it was really lagging one way while we were kiting it. So I actually told Al, if you didn't mind, let me try just taking it up in the sky really quick, make sure everything feels fine, just to make sure that it's just like you know, the winds or just you know, sometimes being in a beach environment too with a paramotor and being on the sand, it's harder. It's harder to do, you know, especially if you've never done it. And I can't lie, I've fallen over with a paramotor on my back on the beach by doing simple turnarounds with a reverse launch. I've done a lot of many mistakes, you know, just by, you know, like having a bad foot in the sand. But that's why it all takes practice, you know, practice makes perfect. And I actually, dude, I can't stress to everybody on here that ever watches my videos of my flying, I really can't stress that how much time I really put on the ground with just practicing. Not finished with your job yet? Hurry. So, Scoob, what's up, man? Good morning. How are you, dude? Glad to see you on here. It always makes me happy to see you. Dude, no, this is a different job. Yes, I did finish that job yesterday that I started 2 days ago. So that deck job is done. I guess I can always share. I never really love taking pictures of it, you know what I mean? Especially those kind of jobs, because we basically do a lot of work for one company, and it's a big company already, so I don't even have to advertise, and it's their advertisement. So like for me having my own business, it's like the one spot in the campgrounds that I don't normally like say take the picture of that job and then share like, hey, look what we did. But normally, like say the job that I'm going to today, these would be the times that I would basically take pictures and share, you know, or make a video of it, you know, because this is all going to be really custom work down here in Cape May today. And also, what else is going on? Scoob. So Scoob, yesterday, dude, I got the pleasure to fly the Spider 3, 28 meter, man, and it was a beautiful glider, man. It was so nice. It is my new buddy Al's glider. It's brand new, dude. I took it up to 12,000 feet. I took it up to 1,200 feet, and man, it was so beautiful yesterday, man. Here on the East Shore, dude, it was so amazing, Scoop. When I got up to about 500 feet, it was so hot. I mean, I was almost sweating because on the ground it was like, I think it was like 54 degrees on the ground. And dude, when I was flying low, dude, I really felt like I was kind of really chilly, you know, because I wasn't wearing thermals or anything. I was just wearing my pants and a sweatshirt with a t-shirt under it. And dude, it was incredible how hot it got higher up I went. And then when I got up to 1,200 feet, it was a little bit on the chillier side up that high. And then, and man, it was just a beautiful flight on the way down. New trike mounts came yesterday. Ordered 2 more lines just to be safe. Nothing wrong with that, man. I actually, dude, Scoob, I really need to order those lines. I need to get, you know what's crazy? I need to order the rest of my lines from Cloud9. There was a big mistake in the beginning when I ordered all my lines. I guess, because what they normally do is they call me and then they talk to me to make sure that like all the colors are the same. Because I think the Roadster 3 matches like another glider that does throw them off of the color of the lines. It's because like my line colors are like backwards for some reason. Like my red lines that would normally be the A lines for ozone are my C lines, and my blue lines are my A lines right now for the Roadster. It's a little bit on the confusing side. I think they almost do it to like match the top of the wing colors or something. I don't really know, but regardless, Scoop, I can't believe how strong those lines are, dude. I flew yesterday my Roadster like 7 or 8 different flights with a whole bunch of taxis in the middle of it, still with those nicked lines, you know what I mean? It's amazing how strong it is, you know? I'm not really doing like trying to do any wing overs or anything on the glider until I really do it, but what I was trying to get at is that I only have 2 of my lines right now, and I'm waiting, Scoop, to get all of them, because I want to replace them at one time. I don't want to replace 2, fly it a couple times, replace 3, fly it a couple times, and then replace like the rest. That's not what I want to do. Because right now the glider's still flying fine, no problem, so I'm definitely just trying to, like I said, replace them all at once. What did you just say? I'm sorry. Red A's, blue B's for me. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, mine are backwards, actually. It's funny. My B's are purple. So, and then, you know, the light green for me is my brake lines. and my Stabilo line that was my 2D steering, that is, or yeah, my tip steering, I'm sorry, which would be also called the Stabilo line. My tip steering is tied in, but they're both like lime green color. But yeah, Scoob, that's my thing going on right now. So I'm still actually waiting for the rest of my lines too, to be honest with you, because I am replacing all of them basically on the one side. But yeah, Scoob, I can't wait to see you back up in the sky, because I can't kid you, man. Yesterday's flight was amazing. I got the chance to fly a brand new glider for the first. I took that glider up for its first flight, I think, too. I gotta ask Al about that. I think I took it up for its first break-in, which is awesome. And it was cool to take it all the way up to 1,200 feet. Scoob, it felt so smooth, because like having a bigger glider for me, every time I fly any bigger gliders, it gets so much smoother. Like I fly the 22-meter Roadster, and dude, it's a rougher flight. I shouldn't say it's a rough flight. It's a very enjoyable flight every time. But I mean, like, there's nothing that I don't feel basically with the Roadster. Like, you know how like when you drive, like say a van like this on a road, you feel every crack in the road. And then if you go driving like a luxury car and you're driving on the same road, you don't feel anything. It's like the same thing. It's like the Roadster to me is like I feel everything. And then when I fly like that Spider yesterday, the 28 meter, dude, it was a beautiful flight, man. I mean, it was so nice. And just doing those mini wingovers too on it. I didn't want to commit to a big one, you know, because, you know, it's my first time flying the glider, you know, and I love putting a little bit of time on a glider before I really try to do anything spicy, you know, but damn, it was such a fun glider to fly yesterday. And I have to let everybody know, if any of you ever not had an experience anything with the Ozone, I definitely highly recommend at least the Roadster and the Spider, because I have, man, had nothing but a great time, and I cannot lie about how strong they are. I had my prop strike on my lines, and I still fly my glider, guys, with the hit. It's just so incredible, you know. It's amazing that these gliders are such strong builds, you know. Like I read something about like after 2010 with Ozone gliders, they changed so much, like dramatically, with safety, with strength, with longevity, with really trying to beat the sun rays, you know. It's incredible, because really I had the Ozone Buzz, right? That was my first glider that I ever had. And what's so amazing is that I just did a big epic giveaway with that, which most of you guys know that. I'm not trying to talk about that. But what I'm trying to get at with that glider is a 2013 or 2014. And when I first got it in 2020, 2020 is when I actually bought the paramotor, but I didn't start flying until 2021. I bought that SkyMax with that Ozone Buzz together as a package deal, used secondhand. But yeah, when I got it, when I realized how much older the glider was, I just looked at it as, oh, okay, I'm just going to use this glider as for training purposes. I won't fly it, you know? And then when I really started to train with ASMAT, I realized that, okay, I need to set this glider out. I watched ASMAT already fly my glider 3 times. He flew that glider 3 times before I ever did. And he kept telling me there's nothing wrong with your glider, but I would recommend sending it out for an inspection. That's what ASMAT kept telling me, you know? And I'm like, okay, before I fly this, you know, because he was a much more experienced pilot, you know, so that's why he actually took it up no problem. But when I took it up, before I took it up, I sent it out for an inspection and came back with flying colors. I was so excited, and I actually couldn't believe it, thinking, what? And then when I sent it out, it was the time when I was really reading a lot about Ozone. And like I said, I read that Ozone really changed their game big time in 2010. So basically any gliders from 2010 and up, like, the safety features are all there, the strength's all there, the longevity's all there in all these gliders. And what's cool about the Buzz, for most people that aren't aware, the Buzz is just like the Mojo. And if I'm not mistaken, the Mojo now is the sister wing of the Buzz. So that's super cool. The Buzz is such a great glider. It's a paramotor glider wing, and it's also a just a PPG wing too. You know, you can do it for both. You can glide it, or you can just go send it with a paramotor on your back. And the Vitarazi Motion 180. You know, I never had any issue. But now, you know, like when I got this other glider from my man Tim, aka Panda over in China, the coolest guy ever, by the way. Dude, he gave me this APCO 30 meter, right? Charisma. It's an A-rated glider, so it's nothing advanced, but it's so nice and safe. And I love it, and I'm going to be able to trike with it and stuff like that. That's what I really like for it. And also be able to use that glider to let my friends get their first flights on, which is it's going to be some of the most incredible experiences in my life. That's what I can't wait for, especially a few of my friends that really, really deserve to do this. But anyway, like I was saying, like, that's why I gave that Buzz away, because I got one given to me. I thought that would be really cool to do, and plus it's just me showing you guys how much I really appreciate you guys following along and being really a part of the channel. And like I said, I just want to keep these giveaways going. I want to keep them growing, and like I said, it all starts with you guys by making sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys always smash that like button. Make sure you guys are always commenting on all my videos that I drop, my long ones, my lives, and my short videos, which I really appreciate all you guys that are already doing that. You guys are the absolute best for that. But like I said, today, we're caught in all this fog. It's so foggy out. Check it out. Look at all this fog. And like I said, right now, we're just headed down to Cape May right now. Look at that. We're past the North Wildwood exit. Man, it's a foggy day out today, guys. Go on this view just for a moment. But yeah, like I was saying, everybody, it's like, it's so crazy to think that all the flying that I got the chance to do yesterday and the day before, and man, I just absolutely love it, guys. Rio Grande, say what? So yeah, gosh, you know, I just want to get through this day, and I want to be able to share some of the videos too with you guys. Like, I made a ton of video, or I got a lot of video footage of yesterday of me just flying the Spider, yesterday me just flying alone yesterday, because yesterday it was really a good time to hang out with Al, and then get to do a lot of kite practice, and me get to do a lot of flights. But then at the end, he had to leave early, which was totally okay. Everybody's got a different life, right? And so I decided to actually just stay a little longer. So I went out for one more flight. I was almost going to take out the, what do you call it, the APCO to go for that adventure flight alone, because it's just a lot slower, safer, whatever. But I decided to take up the Roadster again, because I've already flown it so many times and I had it out already at that time. And then, okay, trying to slow down here, alright. And then, dude, that flight was nice, dude. I went like basically halfway through the island, which was really nice. And, you know, I love the adventure. I love the adventure flights more than anything, and there's really nothing quite like flying. And when you get the chance to run into the sky, I know I talk about this all the time, but there's really nothing like it. And that's why for me, the money that I can raise on these channels and stuff like that, and get to keep doing these giveaways, I would like to really get other people up in the air. I think there's nothing like the experience. And even if they don't ever even want to keep doing it, I would love to at least give them the chance to know, and really I feel like it can build up to something so big, and I would love to really properly train people eventually in the future, but for right now, just keep having so much fun, because really there's nothing like flying. And when you go to teach people how to fly, I feel like it takes a lot of your time, and it really, I could potentially see why some people say that they charge so much money, but for me, it's like, I just wish that YouTube would pay me enough money for the videos that I would make, and then be able to basically just train people for free, like that would be amazing, that would be a dream come true. So, but, and then get my own hangar at the Woodbine Airport one day. That's what I want more than anything. I want that so bad. Most people I know want to keep their feet on the ground. Oh yeah, totally, Scoop. Like, I totally agree with that. A lot of my friends, I feel like, love the idea of trying to fly because they see all my videos and they think it's very easy. But I know that some of them, as soon as they put that harness on it, it's like, Scoop, the game changes, man. It's like, it's hard to do. Then once you start to understand kiting, Scoop, like, like from when you were kiting with just a kiting harness on to when you went kiting, until you went kiting with just a paramotor on your back, totally different. Like, to me, I'll never forget that dramatic difference when I realized I was going for my first flight and I had my helmet on, that motor running on my back, and knowing that I was gonna really fly, everything was so crazy, I just felt like it was so different. And now it's like it's engraved in my head how simple this is, Yeah, and I'm also trying to shred a few pounds right now too, so I've been trying to really watch what I'm eating, because like, I feel like, I've been feeling a little on the sluggish side, if anything, so and I feel like it's because, I don't want to say that I eat unhealthy or anything, but maybe sometimes I might, I don't know, it's like, I like to really, I'm not one to really eat all that much anyway, so I'm just trying to put myself on like some type of a healthier diet right now. And I'm not really trying to lose any weight, I guess, because I like the weight that I'm at, but I just mean like, I just want to keep feeling really good, like I have been the past like few days, I guess now, for I'm kind of trying to make sure I only eat smaller amounts, like making sure I don't eat any junk of any kind, and just trying to be healthy at the moment. And really, I'm just trying to stay healthy for if I could just be like really on it, I'd be really good off. I'm trying to be like that right now. I'm trying to be a lot healthier, because now, dude, being 35, I feel like I need to really watch it. I just can't go eating whatever I want like I used to do all the time. And really, it's not like I'm saying I eat unhealthy or anything. I really don't. It's just that, like, I'm just trying to be a little healthier, that's all. Because yesterday, man, I couldn't believe it. I did not believe what was happening to me yesterday. Yesterday, I don't know what happened. I went home, right? And everything's normal, right? I put away all my stuff, I'm home. I go walking out of my garage, everything's all good. I come into the house and I sit down, and as soon as I sit down, dude, I notice that I get this line that went right across my eye, and it was like all these spirals. It wasn't stopping, dude. And that was like, it started around 5 o'clock or something like that. Yeah, 5 o'clock it started. 5:15. Dude, it didn't go away until 7:30 last night. And I had to take my migraine medicine. I did not believe anybody, because I was reading it that it could be symptoms of a migraine, and I have migraines, but I've never gone almost blind in one eye, basically. Dude, my right eye was completely blocked by these spirals. It was the craziest lines I've ever seen, and when I closed my eyes, dude, it intensed way worse. And dude, it was actually making me really sick to my stomach, you know, and absolutely nuts, you know. And I don't know, it was blowing my mind, because I really thought I had to go to the hospital last night. It was freaking me out. Like, I've never had you know, like when you see stars or something like that, or like you get your eye poked or something, like, or like you look into the light and you see that bright black line or whatever it is. It was so much more intense than all of that. And my eye didn't hurt. I didn't even have a headache. But you know what was crazy? Once I took that migraine medicine, like 10 minutes later, I got whaled with a massive headache, and it hurt so bad, and it was bad. And then around, I don't know, I think around like 8:30, everything was gone. I felt a little like nauseous because of, I think, how stressed out I got, you know, because I couldn't really see out of my right eye. But I can't believe it. I think I had like the worst migraine ever yesterday, because I don't take the medicine anymore. And when I take the medicine, my hands go numb, and that's why I don't want to take it. You know, it's like, I don't even like any kind of medicine. I don't even like taking aspirin, you know. I'm not about that life, you know. I don't like medicine at all. If I don't have to take it, I don't want to, you know. And I just always believe that, like, I can just be extremely healthy or drink a ton of water and always be fine, you know. But anyway, so check it out, everybody. Other than all that craziness, we're here in Cape May, so check out all those old school homes. So I'm not going to show this job, even though that it's our job. I don't know if the homeowner would actually like me doing that, because like I said, I know some people don't really like that kind of stuff. So I'm going to end the live. I do appreciate all you guys for hopping on and saying what's up. Good morning to everybody who watches. And like I said, I will be doing some more videos later. I have some cool epic flights that I can't wait to share with you guys on my YouTube channel. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss out on anything. And until the next one, everybody, peace out.